Okay, I have to interrupt. Right on schedule. Check the demonetized meter, and we are yellow. All right. Is everybody shocked? That was pretty damn close to being exactly on time. So I want to hear that you guys noted that. How's the sound for everybody? F's all around. I'll copy Vivify. They finished in a perfect time, so I was able to watch and then come in and be live. How's everybody doing? Super stoked to be here. This is my, I guess you would say, yeah, Reese. I figured, why waste time? I will assume that I'm going to go yellow. I have not yet, and yes, the meter is here. Tape Damage has been working on little transitions, and it might be cool to have like a little bit of a drop that goes boom or yellow and like, wah, 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 interrupt everything where we're that. But how's everybody doing? This is my birthday eve episode. Tomorrow's my birthday, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to be doing a show with Mark Grobert, which should be a lot of fun. We did a CIA in movies, and tomorrow we're going to be doing CIA in the media. Interesting. What do Sean Hannity and Buck Sexton maybe have in common? This should be a lot of fun. Anyway, Mark Robert and myself tomorrow, and I'm going to try to get it out. I actually recorded my part talking over it, but how many of you guys have seen the new Tom McDonald song drop? Don't Look Down. I was not going to do a reaction to Tom McDonald for a while because I'm trying to get a little bit of variety, but he dropped that song and there's so much to it. I decided to go ahead. I'm reacting to it. I'm doing something different though, because he had an interview, or not interview, but he did a video addressing people who hated his new song. And I thought, well, since I can't get Tom McDonald on the show because he's so big, I can scrape his video and then I can address his video. So it's going to be an interesting reaction with me speculating on what he was saying and then his actual video talking about what he was saying. Something completely different. I hope you guys like what I'm doing there. I also have been busy on locals. I hope everybody has caught the live stream that I did there last week. Can't believe it's been a week. Everything's crazy. And I did an hour plus show with Mike Wood, or Dr. Mike Wood. And he well, those of you who have followed him for a while know that he likes to kind of poke at people for a bit. And I like the guy. He's a great guy. We get on famously, but he likes to poke at me. So I did an exclusive locals video. It's available to everyone. So anybody on structure.locals.com, head on over, check it out. It's free. I'm not putting it behind the paywall. I figured that one I'd let go wide. And I was just talking about it. And Dan Cooper is obviously the president of Tom McDonald's fan club, which is cool. And I think he's also president of the Robert Barnes fan club. But great to have you. I am so impressed that you have not been caught yet after your famous plane hijacking. Amazing, amazing work. It really, really is. So on to the important things. What in the world? Boobs? Oh, booze lame. Okay. Don't know what that is. Jay is bored. Sorry. What is everybody drinking? I'm having my old standby, Raging Bitch. Yes, not original, but that's what I'm doing. Waiting on Allison. Allison will be coming on soonish. Allison is having a lot of challenges with YouTube right now. What's up, Pete Turner? I think she had a video pulled. I definitely want to talk to her about that. Since she's talking news and Allison likes to go into details about certain medical situations and sometimes has doctors on, and things like that. She's really, really looking into the eye of that YouTube tiger, so to speak. So she's focusing a lot on Rockfin and, of course, locals. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Rockfin and locals, but she is having to start streams on YouTube and then finish them on Rockfin and then later on upload them to locals, things like that. So right now, I think she is doing a Rockfin exclusive. And let me see if I've gone yellow yet. Nope, I am still green. It's such a fun countdown. I should have like some sort of a tool that'll alert me. Boom, boom, you're yellow. Okay, good. Drinks are starting to come in. We have, where do we have? Where do we have? What do we have? Oh, that's a good question. Old drill sergeant, who just came over from Viva and Barnes? I'd love to know that. I know a lot of my audience definitely shares it. Let's see. Ace is having Jack and Coke. Lee Harvey Mango Cart. Zintz is vodka and Gatorade. Well, you won't be as dehydrated. Tyler's Durden is a stupid name. Gin martini in a whiskey glass. Sean Brim is the more responsible of us, I think. Old drill sergeant, water with lime. Okay. Carla Vega says you can't handle any more tempo and CRT. What is that about? I don't know. Stan Hawkins is having some Canadian whiskey and my chat just jumped. By the way, one thing to note, and I think a lot of you that watch Viva Fry will see, sometimes I'll like pop something on the screen that seems completely ridiculous. What happens is I'm popping one chat up, but the thing's scrolling, and so it's something random will come up, and it might be like a conversation people are having in the chat that's not relevant to what's going on the screen or whatever. So I wind up looking ridiculous, which is common. I often look ridiculous, but that's just to let you know what's happening there. David March is having Royal Navy rum and Diet Coke. Danielle, orange sherbet. How do you say that, by the way? Have you noticed that people will say sherbet with an R? I've always wondered that. Where do they get the mystery R? Lisa is Prosecco and a stemless flute for her. No stems for Lisa. Hand of Fate, Vanilla Dream Ale for Sky Captain Charisma. That's a lot of charisma. That's like way up there in the sky. Rocky Top is having Widow Jane Bourbon. And let's see. Okay. Me. I did. Well, okay. That's a lot of people. Let's see. Dan Cooper is having Maker's Mark. And you know, anytime you hijack a plane and get away with it for 50 years, Maker's Mark's a good choice. Timothy Brew, PBR, Pabst Blue Ribbon. Timothy, have you seen Blue Velvet? One of my favorite films of all time. When and Dennis Hopper makes a big deal about that. Pabst Blue Ribbon. Let's see. Puppy Shark always watches Sidebar. All right, so let's see. What in the world is everybody saying? Okay. Pete Turner is, drinking a Diet Coke and editing YouTube stuff. Those of you who don't know Pete A. Turner is a bit of a machine. He runs the podcast, The Break It Down Show, and he has a YouTube channel, Pete A. Turner. Pete does more interviews in a month than I do in a year, probably. He is uber connected to everybody. I mean, he gets every name you could ever imagine out there. And then he just does interview after interview after interview after interview. I have no idea how he does it. I could never even keep up with it. And nice play, Dan Cooper. No aviation, Jen. Oh, okay. So Dr. Wood was 41 years old when he learned it was sherbet and not sherbet. Yeah, exactly. Who came up with sherbet? It's insane. And again, check out the stream we did. It wasn't live. We recorded it, but come on, I can only take so much torture. He's gonna pick on me in a stream, and I don't need to be piled on. That's just crazy. So it is on my locals, unstructured.locals.com. I'm going to do the Barnes and pimp it. Eventually, I'll be good at it. And again, you can follow for free. There's a lot of stuff. And folks who are there, please, please, please share with each other. I also will be pulling up, hopefully, requests from here. With it being birthday eve, I'm technically on vacation, not necessarily doing a great job of it, but I'm trying. And I see that there's a chat going on here too. Ziggy Shrugs, you sent me an email. Okay, so I actually have dueling chats. I have one on YouTube and one on locals. That's another reason I did a pinned comment there. Reason for that is there was a debate not that long ago with Robert Barnes and Nick Fuentes. Yes, I am standing. I have a standing desk. I try to stand to have more energy. Nick Fuentes and Robert Barnes debated each other, and it was very robust, and the reactions were very strong. This was the night after we did News with Booze, and Barnes came on here, and a lot of people came on here who are not normal News with Booze watchers. I hope many of them stayed. That would be awesome, but I don't think they did. Anyway, many of the regulars felt uncomfortable with it and have pointed out to me, hey, you have locals, you can run a chat. Why don't you have a chat there? So I try to open a chat on locals for people who want, they're kind of deep into the community and they can talk with each other and feel comfortable. And, obviously everybody is welcome, but that is what that is about. And I will continue trying to do that. I understand that a lot of locals is paid. You don't have to pay. Again, you can follow for free, but I am trying to earn those who do, give me $3 a month or, whatever it is. I deeply appreciate it. So now I've been rambling for 12 minutes and 44, 5, 6, 7 seconds. And I know that you probably want to talk about some news. Imagine that. It's crazy. The name of the show is News with Booze, and I need to talk about it. So let's go right into, I like to start off with, if you will, something funny if I can. And there is not much in my mind funnier than Scott Adams of Dilbert fame. And Scott Adams is also on, well, guess what? Locals. But he does a series on locals, and I'm sure he will not mind my sharing it. I pay for a subscription with you, and you would be encouraged to go check out Scott Adams Locals. Robots Read News. Former President Trump is suing Google, Facebook, and Twitter for Wait, I'm getting an update. Correction. Vile insurrectionist. Trump is pissing all over democracy, acting like Hitler. Perfect. Now, I've noticed this on Scott's Locals. He does the Robots Read News, and that one is a much darker, non-Dilberty series, but it is perfect, and it leads into our first story. Is that Trump, I always love playing with ads. Yes, somebody's going to tell me get an ad blocker and we'll use Brave. I will eventually do that. Steve Britton, do I have a robot voice? I do not. That would be funny if I did. That would be funny. Okay, Sean is saying Tucker Carlson Axios is just breaking. Can you I don't know. I don't know if I can catch a link on that. That's tough for me to catch up on that. What do you guys think? I'm underwhelmed with a lot of Trump's actions. when it comes to social media. And I know. That's annoying. Everybody is like, he's going to do it. He's going to take him down. He's going to do everything. But I see Trump as he's a lot like the other Republicans, right? Steve, Allison will be here. Just we're waiting on her to finish her Rockfin. Anyway, how many times did we see Ted Cruz and others bring Jack Dorsey or Zuck in front of Congress? And we all cheer. Yay! Look at them. They're humiliating them. Oh my, they're asking the hard questions. What happened? What's going on? God, there's a lot of silence, but what is happening? I don't give a damn about bringing people in front of Congress to do a cute little public exercise, a kabuki theater of saying, oh, look at me. I can make fun of Jack Dorsey and he has to take it. And, oh, we're going to pretend that's an actual action. What good is that? I mean, seriously, it is really sad. And I'm actually scrolling here on the right because I'm trying to think. It kills me to say, but to me, the best possible thing that may have happened was the person that Biden, of all people, appointed to run the FTC, which kills me. I hate to say that. I mean, I'm not a fan, but let's be honest. Biden put in, and I cannot find her name. So it is not helpful, I guess, right now to do that. But the individual that he actually put on the FTC is someone who got famous for writing the memo or article, if you will, about Amazon being a monopoly. You know, it's an antitrust argument of all the problems with of Amazon. And it's a horrible situation. Now, with that, you're like, okay, well, whatever. Well, we've been talking free speech forever and it's going nowhere. But what if we talk about contractual law? What if we talk about monopolistic behavior? What if we talk about a bunch of other things and then you kill them with 1,000 cuts? That, I think, is more powerful than let's have a hearing. Let's go to Congress and let's just talk to Jack Dorsey and see what he's saying. And Allison is going to get us straight.
Hello.
Hey, what are you having?
I'm just having, don't judge me, I'm having Coors because
That's right.
Lynn had
Rocky Mountain Way.
I normally don't drink beer that's the color of urine, but I have a special need for tonight.
Okay.
What about you? What are you drinking?
I'm boring. I just have the raging bitch. As I said, it's my birthday eve. I'm just in here hanging out. So
what have you guys been talking about? Sorry, I'm late.
I've gone on a little mini rant about how Trump is suing, did a class action lawsuit over Facebook and Twitter, which in some ways I think it's and YouTube, which is coming across as maybe whiny. I don't know. I think it's good, but I'm so over everybody, especially Congress, Ted Cruz, all these people. They pull Jack Dorsey in front of Congress. They do all this stuff and nothing happens. They just blah, 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 blah. Look at that. Look at that. It's old. It's like, how about some legislation? How about actually doing a damn thing? And earlier I was talking about your situation. You and I haven't actually talked a lot over the past few days, which is unusual, but I think you had a video removed, a nice strike on your channel, and you've got to do more Rockfin. So this is probably more interesting than Trump's lawsuit. Fill us in.
Well, yeah, the clock is ticking on my channel now. So that's awesome. Which means, well, it's a warning. The first time that you get a community guideline strike, they give it to you as a warning. It's kind of like a slap on the wrist to say, we're serious and we are going to come after you if you continue to behave like this. The next time you're suspended for, I think it's like a week. So you can't upload or go live or anything. Then if you get another one, I think it's a couple weeks or a month or something. And then your third one, you're done. So you don't get very many before you get booted off of YouTube, which is why I have changed my approach at this point. I have been nuking my live shots. Sorry, that's a news term. Live streams. I've been nuking my live streams on YouTube and continuing them on Rockfin, where you can say whatever you want, really, and they're not going to boot you off. I mean, they have their own rules, following the law, really. But they've tons of other sort of independent journalist types on there. Whitney Webb, Michael Tracy, Ryan Christian with The Last American Vagabond, people who have, definitely Whitney and Ryan, like they have not survived on YouTube. And Ryan, he didn't self-censor at all. I mean, he would just be like, he would say whatever. And yeah, he just lost his channel again. So, but these people are all on Rockfin. And so what I've been doing is like, I'll do, 15, 20 minutes on YouTube of sanitized conversation with my guest. And then I'm just like, bye YouTube. Because what I was doing before was I would do the whole live stream on YouTube and Rockfin, but I would go back and edit it. But the problem is YouTube is now combing through people's deleted material. Okay. So it's like, you think you deleted it. No, you didn't. Because Matt Orfalia, who was my guest yesterday, had his channel got a strike because of a deleted video. He had already deleted it. And so it just goes to show like there's something weird going on here, and it has nothing to do with spreading misinformation, really, because if it was just about spreading misinformation, YouTube wouldn't care about a deleted video or an unlisted video, something that wasn't public. But they're going after that, and they just went after him again for a video from 2014, which is like, what's going on here? So yeah, the clock has started ticking on my channel. I'm not taking any chances with it anymore because it doesn't do any of us any good for me to get booted off of YouTube, but I am going to game them back. So I'm going to start using them for what they're good for, which is just a teaser to get people who want to get out of the matrix and go somewhere else to learn something different. We get them off to that other place. If they don't, they don't, and I have gotten some pushback from people, but it's like, listen, this is where we're at now. I'm like, one person was just like, we don't want to, you got to make it so that it's not so inconvenient. It's like, sorry, do you know what it's like to be a creator now on YouTube? What that word inconvenience really means nowadays, if you're trying to seek out truthful information that challenges, especially the COVID narrative, it's insanely inconvenient. And so the hoops that we have to jump through. So I'm not going to take any chances because people are whining. It's like, if you don't want to take the extra effort, that's okay. I get it. And I hope that at some point it's not an inconvenience, and that there is a legitimate challenge to YouTube that has the same kind of breadth. Probably not going to happen in my lifetime. I doubt it. But that I'm going to do what I got to do. And Eric, one last thing. We're both on Locals too. Locals and Rockfin are, the two main places where, like, Locals does live streaming, but we can't, it's not taking like a StreamYard, right? So we can't bring a guest in yet, which is why I'm doing my guest interviews on Rockfin only. But people should know that the support that they give us on these other platforms is exponential compared to what we get on YouTube and ad revenue. Oh, yeah. YouTube ad revenue is like serfdom. It's like indentured servitude. Whereas if you take your support over to one of these other platforms, it's like what we would have to get of hundreds of thousands of views on YouTube, we could get in just hundreds of people on the other platforms. It goes a lot longer of a reach for creators. So it makes a bigger difference if you want to support somebody to do it on another platform. And I'm eating garlic saves.
Like this one, we'll get a couple. Cute. Well, there'll be a couple thousand views on this, hopefully, and I think I may get $4 to $9, depending. It's all super chat driven, but as far as ad revenue, I mean, $2 CPM, and that's cost per mil or cost per 1,000 is pretty standard. So I mean, just so people know that when you look at a lot of YouTubers and other people, no, they're not making money. I mean, just do the math and figure the time put in studying, researching, whatever else, and compare it to McDonald's and say, yeah, you probably should get the day job. it's
Yeah,
not
it's
great.
just I don't know. I guess it's not, besides the fact that the percent of what you get and how many views you have to get in order to have that ad revenue generate a
Right.
stable income. But then on top of it, the effort you have to put in to build a channel, and if you're doing the kind of content that I'm doing, to have no security whatsoever that this is going to even be around tomorrow. I mean, you could just get an email tomorrow morning and you're done. There's no incentive other than using YouTube as a commercial for your other businesses. There's no incentive, in my opinion, to hustle on YouTube other than to just drive people somewhere else, because it's like being in an abusive relationship.
Oh yeah, it is for sure. I've got a question here, and I think we really should, discuss it because it's true. But do I have to pay for Rockfin and locals? Not necessarily. I think everything Alison's doing, she will upload to locals. She can't do it live yet on Rockfin, but when it's complete, you're still uploading it on locals, right?
So you can, yeah, okay. Many of you all know that locals, you can watch content, the vast majority of our content, if we don't make it premium, right? Which most of mine is not premium. You can watch it free. All my live streams I put on there for free. So you can subscribe, in other words, I don't know what the right word is, because subscribe means you're paying. So you can join my local community.
Follow free. Just
follow for free. Right. Free. Okay. You can follow my locals community and Eric's locals community, AlisonMorrow.locals.com. What's yours again? Unstructured?
Yeah, unstructured.locals.com. Yep.
Okay. You can follow both of those without paying anything, and you'll get all of my anything that was on YouTube live stream or onto Rockfin or whatever. You'll get the entire thing and you can watch it for free. The only thing you pay for is, like, yes, I do some, like, once a week, I do a horse communication thing that, I'm starting to get kind of into, showing people how I'm training this new horse we got. I do some premium uploads, like if it's like my family, or, updates on my health, because I've been dealing with some health issues, whatever. But if what you're really all about is the content, then yeah, you can get that for free on locals. And Rockfin, again, you pay $9.99 for all the creators. So it's a different setup than locals, because locals you're paying per creator for who you support. Rockfin is different. You get everybody for $9.99 a month. A lot of my stuff on Rockfin is free as well, but I just started tonight, one weekly premium exclusive on Rockfin, where I'm just doing, like, because I do exclusives for locals for the supporters there. And so I'm doing exclusive for the Rockfin supporters. And so we're just doing a 30-minute kind of media hits and misses. Bill Doris is helping me out with it right now. Just to test it out and see if the audience likes it over there. So, if you like that kind of thing, you might want to check out Rockfin. But if you just want to see, like, the longer interview guest streams, you get a lot of that on locals too. It just, I get it. It's annoying for people to have all these different sites. They offer something different. So they like, Rockfin gives me the chance to keep my live streams going, which locals doesn't right now. But locals, the nice thing is that you can.
They probably will.
Say that again.
Yet they probably will, but they don't yet.
Yeah, no, yeah, they probably will. And then in which case, they'll go. My live streams will be on locals too. But locals, the one thing that makes it unique, which I like about it, is that you can post in the community, and I think that's valuable as well for people to be able to talk with each other and to post back, like, story ideas and stuff. Rockfin's a much more sort of like one-way street model where I'm posting my videos and but I will say Rockfin's also a really great place to support creators. They are really helpful as well. So, both platforms are great. They just offer different things.
Right now, Theo Brastris. Why do you have that name? That's just to twist my tongue. Anyway, locals needs a video to explain their payment system. Yeah, I will be the first to admit, and I have had Dave Rubin on. Locals can work on that. like Rockfin, one of the big things is their subscription model, much like Netflix. When you pay for Netflix, you get everything on Netflix. You don't have to think about it. You just pay X amount a month and everything is there. Is that fair to say, Allison?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yep.
Locals is more like Patreon, and it was kind of based on that, which is I'm supporting this creator, and then this creator, and then this creator.
Mm-hmm.
And they haven't resolved how to do that. They do have what they call our coins, where somebody can say, okay, I'm going to buy X number of coins a month and then spread it out accordingly to different creators. And even that can be confusing, though, because like I know I'm $3 a month and Viva Bards are $5 a month. Scott Adams is $7 a month. So, for $10 a month, you can have me and Scott Adams. Or it is
it adds up.
frustrating for people. I totally get it. Barnes is right. It is the Apple Store with lots of channels you can then subscribe to. Hopefully, though, they do come up with other models that can address it. And, Ruben talked about it with me too. I know they're looking at it, and bundling. It's actually kind of funny because we all hated the cable company. But if you think about it, we're all trying to get back into the cable company where we say, okay, well, I want the sports package. I want the fill in the blank. Okay. Locals TV.
I want the
for
heretic
video.
conspiracy theorist package.
Yeah. I want the Hush Hush channel.
Yeah.
With a little bit of America's Untold Stories. That would be a perfect channel. Anyway, I feel like we're a infomercial for all the services, but
it's good. I think
there's
people need to know what's going on behind the scenes off YouTube, don't you think? I mean, it's important for people to know what's going on.
Oh, absolutely. And I cannot stand asking people to support me and not being transparent about, whatever is going on or what I'm thinking or anything of that sort. And that's why I have Dr. Wood on to poke at me and give me shit. Because it's healthy for the ego to get it pierced. And let me see if we're yellow yet. Oh, no, we're still green.
That reminds me, I wanted to see if my video with Matt yesterday was demonetized. It was demonetized, but I appealed it, and I want to see if. Let's see. Hang on. Let's see if it's still. Yep. It's being reviewed still. They're gonna just take their sweet time on that one until no one's watching it anymore, and then they'll remonetize it. That's my experience.
Here we go. Barnes is saying folks will be able to, through Locals, buy Hush Hush, Allison Horse Whispering, and Eric's Off the Grid guest secret chats. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Eric, you have off the grid guests?
Somewhat. I mean, there was a certain freshman congressman. I don't know if she's a freshman. No, she's probably not anymore. She's just loud enough to be louder than everybody else as a congressperson. And I did a little bit of a statement analysis on her with somebody, and Bob Babbitt, the Kentucky Derby winner, whether the horse was doped or not, and whether he's being truthful or not. Those are all in Locals. I did not put those out wide.
Oh,
they're quieter, and I'm trying to do more of them. I actually have Rich Barris of People's Pundit coming on. I thought that was going to be Locals, but I'm actually going to be doing it on YouTube. We discussed it, and he's going to be talking about a extraterrestrial or UFO or some sort of encounter next week.
Oh,
personal experience. So I'm curious to how that comes out. No, I don't know the details. That's why I'm very vague. I don't want to know because I want to hear it with everybody else at the same time. He had some sort of encounter, some sort of sighting situation, whatever, and he invited to have maybe a behavior panel folks check it for veracity too.
And he was sober at the time.
I don't know. Again, I don't have the spoilers. I don't want to know.
I really want to get one of the UFO journalist folks out there on my channel because there's a lot of chatter about whether this is making the news right now as part of another fear mongering. You need us to protect you from the aliens kind of thing, like because COVID wasn't enough.
Oh, I don't know. You always are going to wonder about that. It's like, oh, hey, slow. I mean, let's be honest. It's kind of slow right now. It is very slow news.
No, yeah.
And as proof of that, next story. You and I have definitely chatted about this. I'm not going to go deep on it, but it is kind of hilarious. And that is the
God.
freaking war between the Young Turks, Jimmy Dore, Kyle Kalinske,
Aaron
and
Mate.
now Glenn Greenwald.
Aaron Mate, don't forget about him.
Oh, sorry. It all started with Aaron Mate, with the Young Turks going after Aaron Mate because they really like the idea of bombing Syria. And Aaron Mate said that was a false mission. So Young Turk said that he is working for the Russians and all of that. Jimmy Dore came in because he's buddies. And then Anna Kasparian came in and said, Jimmy Dore is a sexual harasser. Me too. Me too. And then Kyle Kalinske said, I'm going to come in a white knight on the situation and release a video saying, I don't want to talk about personal stuff because these are all my friends and I agree and I am all about policy, but hold on, let me spend 45 minutes trashing people personally. Then Jimmy Dore doesn't react very well to other people in general. He is a bit of a firebrand. I think anyone who's ever watched Jimmy Dore knows that he's not a subtle individual. So he reacted in the way that Kyle Kalinske described. He said Jimmy Dore has one gear, and that's nuclear. And Jimmy Dore did live up to his billing, and he went nuclear. Then Kyle responded, and then Jimmy responded with Aaron Mate, and now the Young Turks. Oh no, Glenn Greenwald got in on it. I don't know, but somehow he got involved. I think probably because of Aaron Mate. And now Cenk Uygur is talking about how Jimmy Dore, Glenn Greenwald are all in bed with the Daily Stormer because the Daily Stormer posted about it, and it is actually pretty hilarious. I mean, but it's also very cringeworthy. I hate to see people torn apart in that manner because I think that they're a bunch of toxic jerks doesn't mean that it's not going to spread to other people who I may like or enjoy. And I should never. Schadenfreude is not probably super healthy for my, well-being, even though I admit I have it.
Well, you were saying the thing about Jimmy going nuclear. I watched that video, and though there definitely were parts where he was not happy with Kyle. There were a lot of parts where he was like, it seemed like, at least my read of it was that actually he seemed kind of sad about the situation, because, and that it was like not even that easy for him. That it wasn't even anger I saw in some of that. It was that he was really,
hurt. He was hurt. I think Kyle hurt him.
Yeah.
And that's true. That's true. But I mean, I'm trying to bill it.
He seems like a very sensitive person, as I think probably a lot of comedians are. They're artists, and they're I think they're sensitive to. I mean, I've watched him talk about his childhood and young adulthood and everything, and he's been through some interesting times, and some personal growth. And I don't think we get that sometimes on his channel, because he is kind of like, that's his shtick, is the sort of emphatic, just he's
decades in the making. That's a character almost.
Yeah, exactly. But he may not always. Yeah, that could be like just as much of a safety wall to hide behind. Man, I can't imagine. It does. At least I should say, watching that video, it didn't appear to me like he was just. That what Kyle said in the video about him didn't hurt him. I think it did. I don't know exactly between him and the Young Turks if there's love lost there. I'm not really quite sure where that one stands. But
that one's gone. That one's really gone. And I mean, Cenk's little bit on I mean, that one he's calling Jimmy Dore the monster. And I mean, it's gone. There is no, I can't see them going back on that because there's so much water on the bridge, under the bridge, and the accusations are just flying. Cenk is literally going into, this is the kind of defense is saying, the H figure in charge of Germany in World War II was a vegetarian and liked dogs, but that doesn't mean vegetarians are all inwards. However, he sat there comparing Jimmy and now Glenn Greenwald. So, I mean, he went after Glenn Greenwald, said that he lied about his sources. He was an unreliable journalist. And this has been completely proven now. It's
basically that he didn't disclose, he didn't disclose important information about this back and forth. And so if he didn't do that in this, you can't trust anything that he did. You can't trust the Snowden reporting. Sure. That's basically what Cenk said.
Yes, which that all was technically exposed back and forth between all the videos that were all addressed.
Well, yeah. And I mean, Glenn, he made it clear in his video. Sorry, go ahead.
Kyle. No. Jimmy Dore made the same accusation about Kyle, which is true. He forgot about the whole other part. He just said, look, Jimmy said these nasty things about Anna Kasparian, and not that it was in response to Anna Kasparian's direct messages saying that she was going to be talking about stuff. So I find that highly ironic that we don't address, we address it one way, but another. So there are problems all around.
I got to be honest with you. I'm not the investigative reporter on this story because I've had a hard time keeping up with all the videos because there's a new one. It feels like every few hours. So I'm having, and they're all like, some of them are an hour long. I'm like, I just don't, I can't get
go. Yeah, I don't go that far, but I'm just saying it's sad. It's sad. I mean, not that I'm necessarily a fan of anybody involved, except I kind of like Jimmy Dore and I like Glenn Greenwald out of the lot. I don't like Kyle. I find him to be a very smug individual. That's just how he feels to me. Like David Pacman, he feels smug.
I like Kyle a lot better than David Pacman.
I guess. The thing is that, what is it? Kyle Kulinski, when he says son, that sets me off every freaking time.
Who?
Kyle Kulinski. Oh. He always goes, son, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dude, no. You do not have the stature or life experience or anything in the world. He's
younger, though. Isn't he only like 28? I mean, he's so much younger than us. I think it might be a generational thing. You don't like a 28-year-old calling you son.
I don't like him calling anybody son. They're too stupid. And he is.
Well,
and
I think, to wrap it up on what I do think Glenn Greenwald got right in his video, and I think was a fair assessment, was just like the toxicity of the name calling, because his point was like argue the issues, and this is of course, and then Cenk went after him, whatever. But I do think like that, because the idea of, and I see this with a lot of different issues, COVID or, foreign policy, we're at an era now, and maybe it's always been this way, I don't know. But we just go after people's, we go after people personally, and we, like that. Remember that doctor, the COVID frontline doctor, who was like, she likes demon sex or something like that. We're like, but what about hydroxychloroquine? I mean, let's just talk about it, right?
Well, that's the other thing. No policies are out of the picture. This is all personal shit. So yeah, you're right. It all started with a criticism of Aaron Mate's stories, which were journalism, but that's all gone.
But now it wasn't criticism of his stories, right? It was like making false claims about his work with foreign dictators.
Yeah, it's ad hominems. So flat out saying, oh, he's paid off. He's on the payroll. He's this and that.
Yeah.
But at least that was sort of addressing the actual issues of the time. Now it is just off the rails and garbage. And well, this is a hard one because Mike Wood, and we talked about this, by the way, in the hour-long Locals Only chat that we did. Mike Wood knows Jimmy Dore. They were friends. And over time, I think he feels that Jimmy Dore has lost his principles and kind of sold some things out. So I don't know. That's one thing. At least I'm down here in the masses. I'm not, up in the heady YouTube preferred territory.
I don't know anything about any of these people personally, but I did and do when they're talking about actual things that are happening, policy related stuff.
Sure.
I get a lot out of what they're saying. I will admit my personal bias against the Young Turks. I find them hard to listen to sometimes because they're just I don't know. They just come across for me again. Like I know you have your thing with, but they come across really condescending to me these days, and I don't know if that's always been the way. But but the other guys
And
like
Pac-Man, your favorite,
huh?
David Pac-Man, your favorite.
Yeah, I know. He wears those shirts that look like buttons, but you actually zip them. So they're like really tight fitted. He actually advertises that. So anyway, but whatever. Now I'm doing ad hominem. But yeah, he's also kind of smug. But like for Kyle and Jimmy and Aaron, I really appreciate the perspectives that they give on both the right and the left. And I learn a lot from them. And I think the thing that I've been sad about with all of this is that it's like, I'm not learning anything, I just feel like I'm listening to fighting and I want to go back to like learning again.
I feel like it's slow news. I mean, I really do. And it's like, okay, if we don't have headlines and we don't have Trump, we've got to have some sort of drama. And maybe I'm wrong, but I do feel like there's a little bit of that. And by the way, we just spent a chunk of our show talking about a bullshit fight on the left. So, I'm quick to admit
we could have our own fight, Eric.
Oh yeah, that's fine. You just go click bye.
Maybe we could, let's start some drama so that we can get some views.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Oh, insane. All right, well, let's go ahead and I'll probably piss a lot of people off for now. So this will bring drama. This surprised me, and I feel like if something surprises me, no matter from where it comes, I should acknowledge it. And this teenager who was white was shot and killed by a deputy in Arkansas. What struck me on this was that Al Sharpton read his eulogy.
Oh, now, I heard about all this. Yeah.
I am completely shocked. Honestly, if I'm being true to, what I'm thinking, Al, that's very, very, very unusual for Al Sharpton to do that. Now, there could be a very cynical side that I haven't picked up on or whatever, but on the surface, if I just look at it and say, hey, he is addressing a case of potential police brutality or police violence, and it is not race-based, it is just flat out violence-based, then well, good job. I mean, yes, I'm actually encouraged to see that, because that does go against the narrative, as we've seen. I mean, does it not surprise you to see Al Sharpton there?
I guess so. I mean, we haven't. I don't think I've seen that in the past. But who is that guy? Remember the guy that whose wife was going viral on TikTok, whose husband was killed by the cops? Do you know that guy? Everybody was bringing him up.
Kelly. Yeah, he was in Arizona. He was shot. He was an exterminator in a hallway.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I am scrambling on the Google to find that out. I think his first name was Kelly. It probably isn't.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what happened with that case, but I remember that being a big deal because it was like nobody, I guess the argument was you had this white guy that was killed by the cops and nobody seemed to care. And so I don't know, maybe things are changing.
Well, and that's what I
Daniel
think.
Shaver. Yeah, that's his name. Daniel Shaver.
Daniel, see, Kelly, same thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Chad. Anyway,
Maybe
yes,
her name was Kelly. Is that possible?
you did. I don't think you saw Al Sharpton lined up talking about it. So again, yes, Lee Lancaster, I agree. Al Sharpton's presence immediately makes me question the circumstances. However, okay, Barnes, I think he probably knows him personally. But anyway, Sharpton has a side to him that wants to be the kid preacher for justice he started out as. Well, if he's actually doing something for justice, then okay. And I don't know. I mean, I don't have to like the guy. I don't have to do anything. But if something seems to be good, I feel like I should say, hey, yeah, that's good. I mean, if I complain the other way, shouldn't I acknowledge it? So that's kind of I wanted to bring that up. I don't know that much more about it, but there is that. And I know that you have a hard out. So to close out, I thought we could have a fun little game.
Okay.
Newsweek, I just saw this, is they released a feature talking about who is going to be the big social media influencer on the right. And it's called Social Climbers.
Mm-hmm.
And it is their cover story. So it's like, everybody's trying to replace Trump. Who is winning? So there's a bunch of names in here of who the popular right wingers are, quote unquote. And I'll be curious as to what you think.
By popular, do they mean who's climbing to the top of who the media wants to hate the most?
It's kind of confusing. It's talking about how many posts they have, as you can see here, Marco Rubio, how many followers they have, and then how many engagements, I guess, there are per hosts. And yeah, Barnes, thank you. Thank you for plugging.
Yeah. Oh, don't forget AlisonWinePromo.com, AlisonWinePromo.com. 1L Allison, 50% off my high altitude Malbecs and 50% off shipping.
There you go. And it's sad when he comes on and does a better job than I do.
I know.
Thank you, Barnes. Seriously. Jesus. All right. So we're going to go through names here. And I imagine people in the chat are going to have opinions too. So let's have fun. I mean, come on, let's look at these names. What do we think? Marco Rubio, what do you say? Is he a major mover, or is he little Marco and pretty much out of the picture?
You're asking me that about Marco Rubio?
Yeah, we're discussing. So I'm going to just throw it at you. Yeah, you're the determiner.
As a Floridian, I don't see him ever taking the place of Trump. I just don't. I don't think he's I don't think he's got, whether you like it or hate it, I don't think he's got the fire.
Yeah, he'll be reelected in Florida, but that's it. He's at his ceiling, right?
I think so.
All right. Sarah Palin, who? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I heard she's getting back in the game. I don't think so either. No.
Yeah, I mean, they're drive-by. Rand Paul, I think, is always relevant. I don't know how. I feel like Rand Paul is always going to be kind of the Ron Paul, the thorny side of it, though. I don't see him actually really moving things. I just see him being like the jester. What are your thoughts?
I mean, he has. I do think he has been challenging some of, especially like with COVID. I think he's been going after like Fauci, for instance, and I give him props for that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So he's closer than the other ones you brought up. I would say, I don't know. Could he be somebody who garners the attention without all of the malcontent, because of some of the nasty things that Trump used to tweet? Maybe. I I don't know.
Yeah, I see. And Barnes said he should be top 10. I think that I see Paul having power, but I kind of see it as like McCain power, if you will.
Oh, I don't think so. I think he's
Where
far more anti-establishment than McCain.
that might be, but he's influential in a way, but he's not going to be doing it himself. If that makes sense. Dana White. Okay, but that's more of a commercial side. I don't know that I don't know. What do you think?
Dana White.
UFC.
No.
Yeah, politically, I don't know. I just don't see it.
I don't think so.
All right. Ben and Candy Carson. Okay. I don't see them going anywhere. I feel like they're just kind of they're fine. They've got a position, they move on, but I don't see anything there. Any difference to you?
He's too nice.
Yeah.
I know it's sad to say, but he's too nice. He's just such a nice, smart man. And I don't know if that works anymore in America. Sadly.
No, not really. Okay, Mike Pence, he's done.
No, yeah, he's done.
He burned. It's like no matter how popular you might be, he pissed off every Trumper out there, and you have to have the Trumper in that mix. So I can't see that going anywhere. Jay Sekulow. I'm going to say no because I don't know who the hell he is, but that's a good Barnes answer.
Yeah, I don't
because
know
I don't know who he is. So, he could be behind the scenes person. Barnes agrees. Pence is DOA. Janine Pirro. Yeah, she's where she is. I don't see her as being I don't see her doing much. Do you? You probably knew her. Did you know her personally? You might have.
No, I was pre-Janine, but
okay. Well, I'm like, fine, whatever. She's got her fans. She said, I just don't know. Nothing there. Bill O'Reilly again. His sell-by date is gone. I mean, he's fun. He's got a lot of people who enjoy him. He's got his crowd, but there's nothing there. I don't see him moving anything. Do you?
No, I think he's seen his time. And I just think his the history of like the sexual harassment claims and stuff, I think they would haunt him.
And apparently not that inaccurate from what I understand.
Is that James?
There may have been some
Eric
from
Trump.
fire with that smoke. Eric Trump says he has something. I'm not going to count him out. I think he's close to top 10. He probably is.
Could be.
He has some energy. I think Don Jr. is maybe a little bit more stronger, but I don't know. Laura Ingraham or Ingraham. I think it's Ingram is how they say it, but it's spelled Ingraham. So I apologize whichever way I go. I guess she's fine. I don't know that she I put that out there. What do you think?
I don't think any Fox News I don't see any Fox News host going there. I just don't. Maybe Tucker could quit and do something, maybe. But
okay, and Kid Rock, no. I'm just sorry. No. This is not. I cannot see Kid Rock. I mean, why then put Ted Nugent on here? It's pretty much the same thing. I'm not disagreeing with him necessarily, but no.
Is that a real fur coat?
I don't know. Ted Cruz, yes, Ted Cruz is actually influential. I mean,
how many people did they put in this list?
They put on 20. We're moving fast. I know you got a heart out. I promise we're moving fast. Anyway, I do think Ted Cruz, yes, he should be top 10, maybe top 5. What do you think?
Yes, I do.
All right. Ivanka Trump. I would have said yes before, but I'd put her lower actually than number 7. I just don't. I feel like she was overshadowed by Jared Kushner, and I just haven't seen a lot. Could be wrong, but I haven't seen it.
I think she's too establishment.
Yeah, could be. Tommy, no.
No.
Oh, okay. Barnes agrees with me. Ivanka's not in the top 20 anymore. Yeah, she's drifted down the line. And sorry, Tommy Ler, no. Ugh. Tucker Carlson, absolutely top 5.
Yeah, I agree.
You said Fox News hosts. I do think he's above the rest of Fox News.
Yeah,
And
I
the
think he's
reason,
the only one of the ones they pulled that could.
actually, I think, and maybe I'm wrong, sometimes you can judge somebody by their enemies. And CNN and all the media is spending all their time trying to go after Tucker Carlson and calling him Alex Jones and take him out, which tells me, again, pick your enemies. If they are so scared of Tucker Carlson that they're going after him in such crazy ass ways, then guess what? He might really be a threat. There's a lot there. And I think Barnes has talked about, I don't know for sure, but I think that a lot of Tucker's popularity is more legitimate than, let's say, Megyn Kelly or Sean Hannity or even O'Reilly. Like, I think Tucker's earned a bit more of it. A lot of them were placed there at Fox in the time slot, and they did get a lot of it from that. I feel like Tucker did do a lot of it on his own. What are your thoughts?
Oh yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, totally. Plus Tucker, I mean, a lot of the criticism of him, of course, is that he's a fake populist, and I think you have a debate about that. But I do think he's got enough of the sort of anti-establishment.
Yep.
And right, and then he does bring on people like Jimmy Dore and
Exactly.
Glenn
Yep.
Greenwald. So I think he appeals to some of the people on the left. But again,
there
were a lot of people on the left who would say he's a fake populist. So
yeah, and they do come on too, which is a factor as well. I mean, it's like Jimmy Dore will go on Tucker Carlson, Glenn Greenwald will. It feels legit. No way that Sean Hannity's ahead of Tucker Carlson.
No,
I mean,
way down below.
Yeah, he's a legit blowhard, but not so great. Almost through. We have Candace Owens, who should be way down the list compared to these guys. Sorry, you cannot put her above Tucker Carlson. I know she's very attractive, very interesting, very exciting, all of that, but no, I do not think that Candace Owens has the gravitas to drive things forward.
I don't know. I guess I could see. I think she would. I think she has come out the gate young. I mean, if you think about it, she's very young. And she's obviously she's very smart and she's got a lot of energy. And I think if you see her develop over time and she picks battles a little bit more I don't know what the right word would be. I think sometimes she just gets into a fight because she's a fighter. I think if we see her evolve a little bit where she's like, you know what, I'm not gonna, like, that one's not worth my time. I'm not gonna just get in the mud with somebody. I think she could be. But I just think, it's hard to compare her with somebody like Tucker, who's just been around for a long time. He's a lot older.
Larry Elder. I mean, because race is a big factor. Let's say Larry Elder. She doesn't have the gravitas of a Larry Elder, for example.
Well, she's young.
And I know it's age, and maybe she'll get better. Barnes is right. Candace has Tucker potential, but not at Tucker level yet.
Yeah, but let's give her a break because she's young, and I know there are a lot of people that don't like her for political views and whatnot, but if we're just talking about influence, I think we just, this is the thing. Remember we said, we were talking about the Nietzsche quote, like, careful when you stare into, you're fighting monsters, right? Because when you stare into the abyss stares back into you. And I think people like Candace, who have just taken so much flack, because she's really been at the beginning of a lot of the sort of the Blexit movement, and she gets a ton of hate. And I think it's hard. Like, she fights back hard, and I
followed her for a while. There's a little more history to her, though. And that's why, if you follow her a little further, I haven't been convinced completely that she's all the way there, because her first claim to fame was running a cancellation service, quite literally.
Well, we can get
And
into
getting
that another time. But yes,
yeah,
that's
so
yeah.
we'll
But
get into all that.
she has debated that one as well, like whether that's really what they were going after. But we got to go because I literally got I got to wrap.
So we
Sorry,
got
Eric.
Donald back. We're gonna rule him out. Wait, is that Donald Trump Jr. or
Yes.
Donald Trump Jr.? I agree. He's definitely up there.
Yep.
Franklin
No.
Graham.
Too nice.
No, I think he's past his
Yeah,
sell by
I
date. I
agree.
mean, he's influential internally. I don't know why Ben Shapiro's not on the list, no matter what anybody thinks about him. But Ben Shapiro is definitely influential in the community. I know you're out of time, Allison.
Sorry, guys. I
And
gotta run. If you want to
everybody
finish
else,
up, Eric, finish up.
I am. I even have a cool outro from Tape Damage.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
And I'll ramble for another couple of minutes. Let's see. Okay. Oh, no Charlie Kirk. Okay, somebody. Yeah, Barnes likes Shapiro. Okay, Barnes, go ahead and answer. I know you're not a fan of Ben Shapiro, but he is influential in the freaking some version of the Republican Party, however you look at it. I'd be curious on that. And I know a lot of people are going to get annoyed about Candace Owens. I think that Candace is very interesting, very dynamic, very fascinating, all of that. But I don't completely buy into her yet. I'm waiting to see. Not ruling her out. I hope to see it. And fortunately, she is very, very young. Let's speak Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd is an amazing band during the Roger Waters, David Gilmour years, not including the final cut. Not a great album. It wasn't super. I don't know. I loved Pros and Cons of Hitchhiking. I did not like the final cut. The final cut just it never took with me. I don't know why. Not really big with that. Bring Barnes on. Barnes just did a freaking entire sidebar. I mean, Barnes is tired, I'm sure. Steven Crowder. Steven, actually, you know what? Let me bring the list back up because we could talk about it more. Rising Stars, Dan Bongino. He, yeah, kind of. I mean, I think he's pretty popular media figure. Has some influence in the community. Definitely rising. Marjorie Taylor Greene. I guess. I mean, she's definitely a firebrand. She gets a lot of attention. I don't know if she's a star or not. I don't know enough about her, so I'm not. I'm not going to judge on her or anything else. I do know that she's hated, so maybe that's it. We judge people by their enemies. Reese, I'm sorry, the division bill does not fly for me. Not my favorite. Okay, Bongino is has a lot of the Rush radio spots now. Bongino, is he a Rush Limbaugh though? And that's something I'm going to be going over, I think, with Mark Robert tomorrow, because the guy who's taken over literally for Rush Limbaugh, I think, is tied to the CIA. So I don't feel like there is an actual Rush Limbaugh replacement, and I could be wrong, but I don't feel like there's anyone who has that. I'll use the term gravitas again, but it kind of is that, who has that natural pull going in. Somebody's saying Crowder is naturalized. I think Crowder is actually a dual citizen. I think he was always a U.S. citizen because his father, I think, is from Michigan. Buck Sexton, yes. And I think there's CIA ties. It's going to be in there. Dude, Momentary Lapse of Reason. I know you might be having one, but no, that's not a great album. Sorry. It definitely isn't. All right. Let's see. Yeah. People want me to bring you on, Barnes. Do you want to come on, Barnes? Let me know, and I will happily send you a link. I don't know if you're in the mood or not. You're definitely helpful because you know everybody. And yes, Crowder is half Canadian. I think his mother's Canadian, French Canadian, and his father is out of Michigan. The only person who could replace Limbaugh is Trump. That's an interesting statement because I feel like Limbaugh and Trump are both such unique, strong individuals, but completely different from each other, that it's almost insulting both of them at the same time, if that makes sense. It's crazy. I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to insult anything. It's just a matter of, I don't know. You're comparing like two super powerful people, and I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to get my head around it. Okay, Steve Britton saying that Ben Shapiro's time has come and gone, like Milo Yiannopoulos. Okay, whatever you think about Ben Shapiro and Milo, I would say they're a universe apart. Milo absolutely is out of the picture and not, I mean, done. I mean, yeah, done. Well done. Stick a fork in them and turn them over. Shapiro is far more powerful. Oh, by the way, we are yellow. I was really busy and I didn't see what was happening, but we are yellow. So congrats. Let me put in the request for review so I can ask YouTube, please approve me for your little ads. Anyway, Dan Cooper saying that Milo is no longer into the same lifestyle he was once in. Yes, that is true. I guess. Problem is that Milo, when you think of grifter, I'm sorry, there may be an argument that Milo Yiannopoulos could be construed as a little bit of a grifter. Don't know for sure. All right, so let me go through here. Who is next on the rise? Lauren Boebert from Colorado. I think I've seen her name before. I'm not familiar. Awesome, I guess. I don't know. So I can't really judge whether she is or is not up and coming. Scott Pressler. Oh, okay. Yeah, this guy, I guess he came into prominence because he went through Baltimore and was cleaning neighborhoods, which is delightful, great, super. However, does that really make him a world changer or just an influence? Gokinaru, weren't you watching? Allison was here for a while. Lily is going nutty. She has to go take care of her. Steve Britton is talking about Sargon of Akkad. I like Sargon of Akkad a lot. He really can't do a lot politically here. I would love to have him on. Absolutely. Undefine what? Dude, do you have the internet with me? Yes, I have the internet. I have no idea what your context is. Please tell me more. Thank you. We have Matt Gates. I don't know if Matt's going to survive this. Yes, good point. Theophrastus 3.0 is pointing out this is Newsweek. Yes, Newsweek is not exactly a right-wing bastion, etc. Sure. So probably not a great source, but you know what? It's entertaining. And then we have Steven Crowder. Crowder is influential, sure. Up and coming, yeah. Yeah, I don't know that he's don't know how he's going to be influential wise. I almost feel like he is in his lane. I don't see him going outside of what he is doing very much. I could be wrong. But yeah, I think that's kind of where he is. Josh Hawley, interesting choice. Yeah, I mean, he seems to be pretty consistent. I don't think of Hawley as being super dynamic or whatever. I mean, I feel like when he does the thing that people want him to do, then they're happy with him. Otherwise, but I just don't see anybody just running saying, "Yo, Josh, Josh, Josh," and cheering for that. Not really sure. And that's it. So, what do you guys think? Oh, yep, JD Vance is not on here. Hey, Robert Barnes should be on here, right? I mean, come on. Got to have one of our own. That'd be awesome. But for now, everybody, if you like this, you know the deal. Please subscribe. Please come by. And I will see you next week.